Welcome in. It's another edition of Prep Preview on CISN. I'm Trent Condon. We're powered by Fairway as we get ready for the first full week of playoff football here for the Iowa High School playoffs. Of course, last week it began in Class 4A. Just 4 games were on the docket, but we ramp up in a big way here tonight, and we'll have 4 games for you on CISN. Full video coverage on 3 of our matchups. It'll be Waukee hosting Linn-Mar, and one of those, Dar Danielson, will be on the call there. Also, Southeast Polk, they will welcome in Ames and their high-powered quarterback, and Taman Lipsey should be a fun one out at Southeast Polk High School, along with Dowling Catholic at Drake Stadium. They will welcome in Sioux City North there. Also bring you the audio coverage tonight with the game stream at Ankeny as they bring in Council Bluffs Thomas Jefferson. 4 games on the docket at CISN. That's not all, though. Lots more games across central Iowa here this evening. Really compelling one up in Johnston tonight as the Dragons welcome in Indianola. This one could come down to the wire. 2 teams with 3-4 records. Should be a good one out there. Class 3A, a lot of local teams involved in Class 3A. Have Dallas Center Grimes undefeated on the year. They welcome in Carlisle. Looking forward to that one. Bondurant Farrar, after their playoff victory last week against ADM Adel, now they have to go to Harlan. Good luck out there taking on the Little Cyclones in Class 3A. Winterset will be making their way over to Pella. In Class 2A, Des Moines Christians on the road as they go to Atlantic. Woodward Granger also makes the long road trip west over to Underwood, some of the other central Iowa games. But as we look forward here, we'll be hearing from the coaches getting ready for the matchups tonight. You'll hear a conversation with the coaches coming up in just a little bit, and just such an intriguing week of the high school playoffs and how it's going to play out. So if you're looking at the matchups this week and think you're missing something, that you don't have the bracket in front of you that you have in past years, no, you're not missing out on anything. What they're going to do after this round is they are going to create new pods. It's a pod system in place this year as they work down to 16 after tonight's games. Tomorrow, Saturday morning at noon, the new release will come out of the new pods. It'll be 4-team pods in each of the 6 classes across from 4A down to 8-man. And each of those pods then, the winner of those 4 pods will move on to the Unidome. They'll reseed it there. We'll have the semifinals and then the championship. So not a bracket that you're used to in the past. It does look a little bit different. And geography, a big part of that. What does that mean here in central Iowa? Does it mean that we're going to see the possibility of Ankeny, Southeast Polk, Dowling, Waukee, those teams collide early on? Maybe even in Urbandale, who had a really nice season this year. Johnston had the upset earlier this season against Dowling Catholic. Valley, Ankeny, Centennial, 2 teams still alive in the playoff run. Going to be fun. Going to be a lot of great matchups, and we'll have them here for you on CISN. Taking a look at what we have tonight on CISN. On paper, probably 4 games that the home team are going to be big favorites in. But one that I want to keep an eye on is number 1, Southeast Polk. The Rams have been outstanding all season long. They have dominated opponents, and they've done it with a great offensive line, huge up front. Caden Proctor, the sophomore, just a huge group there. A running game led by Titus Christensen and a really good signal caller and Jackson Daly. They go up against an Ames team that has had their issues defensively, and I think the Rams are going to score, but how are they going to slow down Taman Lipsey? Lipsey this year over 1,000 yards through the air, nearly 1,000 yards on the ground. He's one of the top players in the country on the basketball hardwood, but a great football player too, and that is going to be certainly number 1 to keep an eye on that one coming up tonight with Southeast Polk welcoming in Ames. Should be a fun one. Dowling Catholic, what do we know about Sioux City North? Another team that's going to throw the football around. They have an outstanding wide receiver, quarterback that's put up good numbers this year. Maroons in a night that's probably going to be sloppy out there on the field. We'll see what the field turf at Drake Stadium is going to look like. It's going to be a possibility of a lot of balls in the air. We'll see how Dowling Catholic responds to that one. Waukee, an intriguing matchup as they welcome in Linn-Mar, one of the few East versus Central matchups that we'll get here in the opening round. Linn-Mar inconsistent throughout the year. Waukee at times has been inconsistent. Looking forward to that and seeing what Aaron Smith and the Warriors can do in their matchup. And our final one, Ankeny, the high-powered Hawk attack, goes up against Council Bluffs. It should be, on paper, a pretty easy victory for Ankeny, but we have seen this so many times in the past. Games are not played on paper. They are played on a football field. Anything can happen. Getting ready for it tonight. Coming up next, we're going to hear from the coaches as we prepare for opening kickoff across Central Iowa. It's Prep Preview on CISN. We're back with more here in a moment.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Business owners, real estate agents, are you looking for an experienced, proven, and locally owned partner in Central Iowa for your commercial construction needs? Make it Roshan Corporation. Roshan Corporation will guide you through options to make your dreams a reality. Roshan, your general contractor who can build anything from small tenant improvement spaces to large-scale design-build projects. It's Roshan Corporation. Online at RoshanIA.com. If you can dream it, we can build it.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
If you plan to buy a franchise business or you're thinking of starting a new franchise, there's a lawyer right here in Central Iowa that can help you through the process. Rush Niggett, a Brick Gentry Law PC, has set up an affordable service to help individuals considering buying or starting a franchise business. Learn more online at rushonbusiness.com. Let Rush Niggett help you buy or start your franchise. Rush Niggett, the franchise lawyer with Brick Gentry Law PC. It's good to have Rush on your side.
Welcome back to Prep Preview on CISN. I'm Trent Condon, and it's time for our conversations with the coach. Right now, Southeast Polk undefeated on the year, 6-0, and ranked number 1. Brad Zelenovich joined me earlier in the week as we got ready for the matchup, Southeast Polk and Ames, here on CISN. Conversation with the coach continues here on CISN, getting ready for tonight. Number 1, Southeast Polk. They welcome in Ames in the round of 32. First round matchup here, and joining us, Brad Zelenovich, the head man for the Southeast Polk Rams. Coach, good connecting with you again. And, before we look at this year's team, just overall, as you've continued to build the Southeast Polk program, you guys made that great run a couple of years ago to the Unidome, but the build has continued. You've got a great squad here this season. If you can just fill us in a little bit and kind of the steps that you guys have taken as a program to get to where you are, ranked number 1.
Well, I think obviously, we got a great staff. We've got good resources and good support. So it's always good to start there, in terms of the processes that we have in place 9 months out of the year, we feel really good about, and if you're going to build a program that hopefully can sustain success, it's those processes in terms of your athletic development, and the stuff that goes on from, December, January through the start of fall camp in August, summer training. We've got coaches, our data-driven speed approach has paid huge dividends for our guys. Our guys, changing the culture of, the old school weight room approach. We train, obviously we lift weights and strength and power are important, but we've really had a renewed focus the last probably 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years on the speed development part. And our kids have bought into that. We feel like we've got really good overall team speed. We've got some guys that can run. And it's a day-by-day thing. You got to fight for that stuff every day. we're getting our guys in the weight room in a kind of a coordinated fashion during the off season and competing, encourage them to compete in other sports. We feel like competition is the key to success. We want to see our guys go out and compete for championships. In other sports at our high school, which most of them do, but then understanding that, you're a football player 12 months out of the year, and we're going to give you opportunities to develop athletically. And then when we get into the season, obviously, we're no different than anybody else, in terms of how we prepare, meetings, installations, scouting reports, that type of thing. At this level, in 2020, everybody's so well coached and does such a good job. The margin for error is so thin, but we're excited about, our football team, our kids, our staff, and it's a work in progress. We feel like, our best football is still ahead of us.
Coach, you have a lot of high-level players on your team. D1 kids already have offers, and for one of them on your offensive line, your huge offensive line, yeah. Caden Proctor. He had some big-time offers before he'd even played a varsity snap with you guys. Xavier Nwampka over on the defensive side, who also does a little running back for you guys. Your quarterback, Jackson Daly. How different is it recruiting that level of athlete? Not a kid that is going to go on, maybe play college football at the D3 level, but knowing you have guys and you have eyeballs on you each and every week from coaches at Ohio State and Oklahoma and across the country. What's it like to coach kids like that and have them be a part of your program?
Well, like you just said, it's really good for our program. It's a long time coming. We've had a lot of really good high school football players, guys that, we talk about being program guys where, kind of what I alluded to earlier about getting in the weight room and getting into our development stuff. To where, we maximize and get everything we can out of them and get them to play at a high level, and get to the quarters and get to the semis and have a chance, years ago to play for a state championship. That's important to have the attention that these three guys are obviously garnering, is obviously good for our program. They're team first type guys. They're extremely talented individuals, obviously, with size and athleticism in three different position groups. But they're good teammates. They're good high school football players. They're focused on, the 2020 Southeast Polk Rams. We want to see this thing finish out, however it's going to finish for our football team. And then we'll worry about all that other stuff later. We feel like we've got other kids that are going to be high level college football players in addition to the big three that everybody mentions. And the exposure that our program's getting, the eyes that are on our film, is important for some other guys, whether or not they play at the level that these three guys, potentially could play at. There's a lot of things left for them to do. And I think all three of them would agree that, that they can improve and they're just like everybody else. And, maybe genetically they just have a different ceiling than some of our other guys, but they fit in nicely. They're good teammates. Obviously they're very, very good football players, and we're glad they're on our team.
Number one, 6-0 regular season and a bye week then here in preparation for the matchup with Ames. How did you guys use the bye week? And with that, I'll look forward to what we're going to see on the field with the Ames Little Cyclones making their way in.
Yeah, it's been unique in that, it's been years, where we haven't, since we've had a bye week. This year we had two. We were able to secure an opponent week 5 during the regular season and had some time off. And high school kids, it was hard at that point in time. I didn't feel like our bye week practices were as sharp and as crisp as some other weeks, in the regular season. Then you fast forward into playoff football and our focus has been a little bit better. I think our guys are hungry. I think they're excited for the opportunity coming up tomorrow to play a football game, especially in the year 2020 when nothing's guaranteed. We talk to our guys about that every day. We have an opportunity against Ames at home, and don't take this thing for granted. So our focus has been better. We spent our time focusing on us, on the details, on the little things, on, just different situational type football, and kind of taking the next step in some special teams areas and kind of go from there. As for Ames, obviously, as you look at them on film, they're feeling pretty good about themselves. They've had a couple nice weeks here, winning 2 in a row after a slow start. And, they were shut down a little bit there earlier, mid-season. And the thing that jumps out to you on film is obviously their quarterback position. He's a special talent, a very, very good athlete, high-level basketball recruit. Everything kind of starts and stops with him on the offensive side. He kind of does it all for him in terms of, production wise. I mean, I think it's somewhere like 88% of their total offensive yardage, comes through number 10. So he's got our attention. Obviously, as he's had everybody's attention, we'll, look to kind of get after him a little bit and see what we can do defensively. And obviously for us on offense, it's about mistake-free execution, about, it's going to be a little cold, maybe a little windy, not letting the conditions affect what we do, trying to do what we do, be physical up front on the offensive side, run the football to set up the throw and kind of go from there.
So you will find out then Saturday after the game what your next matchup is going to be. At least at that point, you'll have a pot of 4 teams. You'll know if you advance in that round of 16 to the quarterfinals, who would be a possibility of the opponent on the other side here. Very difficult. You don't have a bracket. How tough is that on you guys as a coaching staff, though, and not being able to get maybe some of that early work done and your opponent not going to be able to find out until 6 days before that game?
Yeah, and the good thing is everybody's in the same boat, with that. You got 6 days to prepare, so you find out, on noon, and you spend your entire weekend getting familiar with your new opponent, and you kind of, it seems compared to the old days where it was Friday, Wednesday, Monday, Friday, it's a little bit better than that. But yeah, we'll have our hands full getting, if we're fortunate enough to advance, to get familiar with the next opponent. And, sometimes in those situations, it's, somebody that you've played before. Other times it's a new opponent. Maybe you've seen somebody on film a little bit preparing for somebody else during the regular year, but you kind of have a grasp of what's going on in the landscape of high school football in Iowa, and we'll get to work hopefully Saturday afternoon and putting a plan together and know every, time you advance becomes much more difficult. So.
Going to be good. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to hopefully a big run out of Southeast Polk coming up throughout this playoffs. Brad Zelenovich, the head man for the Rams, joining us here on Conversation with the Coach on CISN. Thanks for your time today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
If you plan to buy a franchise business or you're thinking of starting a new franchise, there's a lawyer right here in Central Iowa that can help you through the process. Rush Niggett of Brick Gentry Law PC has set up an affordable service to help individuals considering buying or starting a franchise business. Learn more online at rushonbusiness.com. Let Rush Niggett help you buy or start your franchise. Rush Niggett, the franchise lawyer with Brick Gentry Law PC. It's good to have Rush on your side.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
For all of your and your family's eye care needs, make it Elite Eye Care. Dr. Ethan Heisman, Dr. Heidi Bell, and Dr. Kelsey Sawatsky provide expert eye care close to home. From eye exams to contact lenses, eyeglasses to sunglasses, make Elite Eye Care your local optometrist. Set up your next eye care appointment with Elite Eye Care, 9250 University Avenue in West Des Moines, and online at eyedoctordemoines.com. Business owners, real estate agents, are you looking for an experienced, proven, and locally owned partner in Central Iowa for your commercial construction needs? Make it Roshan Corporation. Roshan Corporation will guide you through options to make your dreams a reality. Roshan, your general contractor who can build anything from small tenant improvement spaces to large-scale design-build projects. It's Roshan Corporation. Online at RoshanIA.com. If you can dream it, we can build it.
Welcome back one final time to Prep Preview on CISN. Trent Condon with you as we give you some final thoughts here in the round of 32 matchups. Let's start in Waukee. Linn-Mar comes in from the east side of the state. Linn-Mar inconsistent throughout the year. For Waukee, really more than anything, find a way to get the ball in the hands of Aaron Smith. He has been dynamic for them all season long. Can they get enough? That ground game has been good this year. And a night that's going to be a little bit sloppy out there, this is one where you're going to rely on the big uglies, both your offensive line and defensive line. Waukee, we'll see if they're up to the task tonight as they take on Linn-Mar in our matchup here on CISN. Also tonight, Dowling Catholic will welcome in Sioux City North. The Stars come in 3-4 on the season. They want to throw the football around. One thing to keep an eye on, the wide receivers, well, they know where they're going in routes. Defensive backs don't. They have to react. If it's a slippery track out there at Drake Stadium this evening, how difficult that's going to be for the Dowling Catholic defensive backs. How you negate that? A pass rush, and that's what Dowling Catholic has. Should give them a big advantage there, and we'll see the continued two-quarterback run out of Dowling Catholic and how that plays out here now that we're at playoff time. Dowling Catholic looking for another championship here after 7 in a row. Looking forward to getting it started tonight after a bye week for the Maroons. Also this evening, Southeast Polk, number 1, 6-0 on the year. They take on Ames. Taman Lipsey, one of the most outstanding talents in high school football. He's their quarterback. Keep an eye on them, but you know Coach Zelenovich and company, they're going to have a game plan. More than anything, try to keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get wide. Use that running ability along with the throwing ability that he has. That will be certainly number 1 for Southeast Polk. And in a wet night, they're going to rely on that big offensive line led by their sophomore tackle, Caden Proctor, big across, averaging 280 pounds. You can bet Southeast Polk, they are going to be leaning on that front of Ames, trying to run the football and control the line of scrimmage. Our final game tonight, it will be Ankeny. The Hawks come in ranked number 2 against Council Bluffs TJ. Big favorites here. We know about the weapons offensively, what they can do, and the defense can flex their muscle as well. Paul Yeager will have that audio call for you here tonight on CISN. Some other games happening in Central Iowa, or with Central Iowa interest happening, including Johnston, Indianola. I think that's the most compelling matchup. Probably our only real coin flip matchup that we have, at least on paper, this week up in Johnston tonight. We'll also have West Des Moines Valley. They have to make the road trip over, a long trip for the Tigers, as they will go over and face off against Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln. Still Valley, this is a road game, but you think the Tigers have a chance to get to the round of 16 by playing some better football. That offensive line has made big improvements. We'll keep an eye on that one. Down in Class 3A, DCG undefeated on the year. They'll get a tough matchup tonight as they got Carlisle coming in. Bondurant Farrar, they go over to Harlan to take on the undefeated Little Cyclones. We'll see what the Blue Jays have in store there. They're going to look to try to make that, stretch the game out, run the football, control the line, and see if they can walk away with the big upset victory. Also had Des Moines Christian in Class 2A. They're on the road for Atlantic. Woodward Granger on the road. Just some of the many games we're keeping our eye on. After tonight, we will be down to 16 in each of the classes. Those playoff pairings will come out. The pods in each of the classes will be released Saturday right around noon time. Keep your eye out and keep your eye right here, CISN, as we will continue with our coverage throughout these high school playoffs. That'll do it for our pregame show here tonight on CISN Prep Preview, powered by Fairway. Thanks to all the coaches. Thanks to all of you for listening. Enjoy your game tonight on CISN.
It's playoff football time. Second round of the playoffs. First playoff round where every team is involved in Class 4A. And it's the top-ranked Southeast Polk Rams hosting the Ames Little Cyclones. My name's Emery Songer, and as part of the coverage for the Central Iowa Sports Network of high school football in the postseason, we'll have this matchup for you live from Pleasant Hill. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll give you player spotlights, players to watch, and keys to the game, all coming up next right here on CISN.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off. New Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off. Or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
An annual mammogram is still the best way to detect breast cancer early and sets a great example for those you love. With Iowa Radiology's state-of-the-art technology, the best trained team in Iowa, and a passionate dedication to patient care, why would you go anywhere else? For something this important, the choice is simple. Call or text to schedule today or visit iowaradiology.com. See why more women choose Iowa Radiology. Their focus.
We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, schottenkirkford.com. Weekday hard work. Let us show you.
Back here live on the upstart Ames Little Cyclones. I will say this, you got a couple of big players to watch on what is a cool night. And by cool, I mean very cool. 36 degrees, cloudy skies, real feel out here, 23 degrees because there's a lot of wind out here. 24-mile-per-hour gusts, a steady wind over 15. Heck of a basketball prospect, playing for Team USA, among other things. 2004 all-purpose yards, which leads all of Class 4A, despite Ames only having won a couple of ball games against over that 1,000-yard marker today. Just need a player in the class of 2022 yet to determine where he's going to play college basketball. And I can tell you this, Taman Lipsey, going to be a guy you're going to hear his name an awful lot when the Little Cyclones have after recruits, not just in Iowa, but in the country right now. The senior is a four-star safety. He's actually a junior. He's going to have one more full season. Still hasn't committed to any of the Power 5 schools that are wooing him at this point. He tackles through the end of this year. 7 total touchdowns, 5 rushing, 1 on an interception, 1 on a kickoff return. The ball finds him, whether he's on offense, ball, or moves forward. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll give you more statistics and keys to the game right after this. It'll be Southeast Polk and Ames in the playoffs right here on CISN.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, a medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel with Twix candy pieces. Get yours today.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. Without question, the COVID-19 pandemic created many disruptive changes in our lives. Some of us got sick, jobs and income were compromised, it was difficult to even spend time with family and friends. But one thing hasn't changed, and that's Westside Auto Pro's commitment to quality service, and that will never change. We're here to make sure you get maximum performance and reliability from your vehicle. So as we all move forward, keep Westside Auto Pros in mind. You've been through enough. We'll make sure your car is the least of your worries.
An annual mammogram is still the best way to detect breast cancer early and sets a great example for those you love. With Iowa Radiology's state-of-the-art technology, the best trained team in Iowa, and a passionate dedication to patient care, why would you go anywhere else? For something this important, the choice is simple. Call or text to schedule today or visit iowaradiology.com. See why more women choose Iowa Radiology. Their focus is our good health.
Obsessively, relentlessly. That's what you can always expect, even when faced with the unexpected. It's a service we take seriously, providing comfort in the rain, tools to help you save, a helping hand along the way, and from a safe distance away, delivering the energy you need while going the extra mile. Regardless of the times, our team remains committed to you.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Back here from Southeast Polk Stadium in Pleasant Hill, Iowa, one of course, the eastern suburbs of Des Moines. And that's where the number one team in the state has lied for most of this shortened high school football season, and that's the Rams of Southeast Polk. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers. First of all, for the Rams, their schedule, you could say that the schedule was a little bit lighter than you would have expected coming in. Waukee, a very tough opponent, turns out. Only lost a couple of times throughout the regular season. One of those losses, though, was to these Rams in the opening week in Waukee. Final score of that game was 21-10. The Southeast Polk Rams then flexed their muscles at Ankeny Centennial 29-0 after needing to reschedule their Des Moines East game, which was originally scheduled, but of course Des Moines East and the other Des Moines public schools had to end their season after early September due to going all virtual learning. Ended up being rescheduled against a Cedar Rapids Jefferson team who really struggled this year, and Southeast Polk traveled there, got a 69-13 win, then played Valley. Valley, just a tough season, very uncharacteristic. It was a 34-7 win for Southeast Polk in that game. They were scheduled to play Des Moines Lincoln on the 25th of September, did not make up that date, did not have a game there. On the 2nd of October, they played Ottumwa down at Schaefer Stadium in Wapello County and got a 69-21 win over the Bulldogs. And then in the last game of the regular season, a 28-10 win over a very solid Johnston team. Of course, this game is certainly going to be one with an interesting challenge of having to defend Taman Lipsey, but if you look at the schedule for Ames, it wasn't easy to stop their opposition. Lost their first 4 games of the season before picking up wins over the last 2. Played Fort Dodge in Fort Dodge to start the season, but lost 81-54. Put up a 54 spot. It was a fun game, but could not stop that Fort Dodge offense. They played Urbandale, who ended up being a very good team this year as well. Lost 40-13 14 there. Their game against Ottumwa was postponed. That was when Ames was dealing with situations as the Rams take the field, led by their venerable quarterback, Jackson Daly. For Ames, that Ottumwa game being canceled was in the midst of them. They had just a 1 week, couple of weeks there where they were trying to get themselves figured out with the virtual learning and getting in person and getting the regulations proper. They were able to do so, and by the 25th of September, they were back in action. Tough game against Ankeny Centennial on the road. Ended up losing by just 4 points, 21-17. And then Indianola, a matchup which they just seemed outmatched. Indianola, a very underrated 3-4 team. Have a fun game today in the playoffs as well. 31-0, though. Indianola picked up the win there on the 2nd of October. And then Ames got off the schneid, beating Ottumwa on the road 42-21 on the 9th of October. And then in the first round of the playoffs, they did play at home against Cedar Rapids Jefferson and picked up a 35-31 victory to get themselves into this game with this particular pod. So the player's going to go out for their coin toss. And we're going to go ahead and step aside real quick, and when we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff for you. It's Southeast Polk and Ames in the playoffs right here on CISN.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Ames is getting ready to kick off to Southeast Polk to start this game. Ames won the toss, elected to defer. Southeast Polk elected to receive the opening kickoff. Ames will get it to start the second half. For the Rams, they'll send Xavier Wampaw back. We talked about his ability, not just on defense, where he's really going to be a top prospect at the safety position, you would think. He's going to be flying all over the field defensively, but he's also a game breaker when it comes to kickoffs, punt returns, as well as on offense. They find ways to get him the ball in his hands, averaging on kick returns about 54 yards per return. Those only had a couple, though. They've kept it away from him throughout the season. Kickoff is on the way. It is just a short little rolling kick. Wampa tries to field it off a hop. He does, and is tripped up immediately. Good coverage by the Little Cyclones, and a good kick there as well from their kicker. As the offense for the Rams comes onto the field. That was John Limcool, a senior, with a very good squib kick. But it does give some solid field position without that return to Southeast Polk. And Jackson Daly, who continues to impress college scouts. He's going to come onto the field for Southeast Polk. On the season, Daly has been an underrated quarterback, if you could have such a thing, for the number one team. Almost 74% of completion as they go short here. Ball is caught, and Alex LeClaire up beyond the sticks, and it will be close to a first down. Little hitch route after a couple of yards. LeClaire, a senior wide receiver. That's his 8th catch of the season. He's averaging about 19 yards per catch. We mentioned Brad Zelinovich's offense has been fairly consistent, not as explosive as, say, Ankeny's offense this year, but know how to score, know how to be efficient with it, as this is a screen pass here to the near side. And gang tackled is Isaiah Emmanuel after a gain of about 5. Among those in on the play for Ames was Evan Gray, the junior on the back end. No huddle for Southeast Polk. They'll get right to it. Shotgun formation. Daly's got 3 wide receivers. 2nd and 5 from their own 42-yard line, and now Southeast Polk will look back to the sideline. See a lot of guys out there without sleeves. That is a gutsy move. Certainly one of intimidation as real feel under 25 degrees here with the wind blowing at about 20 miles an hour from left to right. Here's a little handoff up the middle, breaking a tackle and getting a first down for Southeast Polk is the running back Titus Christensen. Again, a guy who's completely overlooked compared to some of the weapons in this offense, including guys like Caden Proctor, who is among the offensive linemen. This is a great football team, and that offensive line has been making holes all season, but it has been a good year running the ball for Titus Christensen. 646 yards on the year, averaging 6.5 yards per carry and 7 rushing touchdowns. Back into the shotgun, quick snap. Christensen picks his way across midfield. He gets to the 48, gain of just a couple. In on the stop for Ames, Caleb Graw, the 6'1 senior linebacker. Now, Southeast Polk, despite having so much talent, and we talk about talent, everybody's like, well, why don't they score more points? Well, this is what they like to do. They like to control the ball, time of possession, and they wear down their opposition play after play after play. It really is fun, old-school style football with guys who can block up front, guys who can handle the ball on the edge and in the backfield. This is a fun team to watch. Here's a little handoff. Christensen breaks through the hole off right guard. He's got into space. He's inside the 35, inside the 30, down the sideline, inside the 15, 10, 5, cuts back into the end zone. Touchdown, Titus Christensen, 48 yards, and the Rams are on the board. A 48-yard touchdown run by Titus Christensen right on cue. Offensive line making a haul. Christensen found a little seam between his right guard and right tackle, went through the gap, and went down the sideline, and 48 yards later gets into pay dirt. Extra point on the way here for Josh Wilson into a stiff wind, and it is good. Southeast Polk on their first drive goes right down the field, and with 9:40 to go first quarter, 7-0 Rams. Ames will get it for the first time, and we'll see Taman Lipsy on the field right after this on CISN.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
9:40 to go here in the first quarter, just underway. Southeast Polk, top team in the state, gets themselves on the board with a 48-yard run from Titus Christensen. Josh Wilson had it teed up. I mentioned stiff wind. Real feel out here, 23 degrees. It's actually 36 if you look at your AccuWeather app. That wind, though, is blowing from left to right. And with the gusts right around 25 miles per hour as it blows off a second time, and now we're going to have to get a holder here. It'll be Jalen Aguiniga who's going to hold it for Wilson to tee it up. And usually this means it's already probably going to be a short kick with the wind directly in his face, but probably even a shorter kick with the guy having to hold it for the kicker. A couple of guys back deep for Ames just in case the ball rolls their direction. Wilson approaches, and here's the kick. This one in the air. It's short. It's going to be a tough play. It bounces. That is a live ball. That ball is loose, and it is going to be recovered by Southeast Polk. Whether that was done intentionally by Wilson or not, the wind being 25 miles an hour blowing into the face of the kick, it just stood and just stayed in the air right around the 25-yard line and dropped into a space where no one in a white uniform was. And because of that, live ball, Southeast Polk was able to get down there, and I believe the man who recovered it was trying to find I think Quincy Foster, trying to see who everybody's patting on the back on the sideline for Southeast Polk, and I think it was Quincy Foster, a junior on special teams, who was able to pick that ball up. And, yeah, they give him the championship belt that he's going to carry as if he picked up a turnover, as we got a little bit of pre-snap movement or a timeout here by Southeast Polk. We're going to keep it here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Christensen touchdown run. This shows you exactly what kind of offense this is. Just going forward, nice cutback, and then cuts to the outside where nobody is, breaking contain. Look at the hustle going down the field by Emmanuel, giving just a little bit of a block there so Christensen could cut it back for those last 10 yards and get into the end zone, and Southeast Polk got on the board. And then, of course, a little bit of a quirky kickoff. Not only was the wind holding the ball up, but it was spinning so rapidly. That was going to be a tough ball to catch on the fly anyway. And then it got that back. Foster, a 6'1 junior, weighing about 175 pounds, but special teams always important. Almost to a fault, I absolutely geek out about special teams plays, whether it's kickoff coverage, punts, punt coverage, field goal block. All of that is so drastically important to the success of a football team. And you see right here a chance for Southeast Polk to try to make it hurt and go up a couple of scores here. Little handoff to Wampa. He goes right up the gut, inside the 20. He's not going to be touched. Touchdown, Rams. Just like that. 2.5 minutes into the ball game, they're up by 2 scores. 30 yards on the Xavier Wampa run. We talked about this guy is going to be highly sought after. He's already very highly sought after. Power 5 schools coming in droves to try to recruit this young man to be a part of their as a defender. Extra point they'll try to kick it off again. Let's see if Ames can get the ball when we come back. 14-0 Rams right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
This is the kickoff to set up the touchdown. Just kind of stuck in the air. Bounce at about the 25-yard line. Bounce backwards. In the ensuing scramble, Quincy Foster picked up the ball for Southeast Polk, and that set up what ended up being a 30-yard touchdown run by Xavier Wampa immediately afterwards. Southeast Polk did. Here is the run by the excellent player, Wampa, who was alongside Daly. And just right up the gut after a quick cutback, and he was gone straight up the middle. So here's another kick for Josh Wilson. This one is a low line drive. This will reach back to the 18-yard line before being picked up by Ames, breaking a couple of tackles, but then being ganged up on and brought down at about the 24-yard line is the Ames receiver and ball carrier. So that'll bring out the offense for the Little Cyclones, and that is going to be, as I believe Nico Stevens was the return man there for Ames. It'll be the Taman Lipsy-led Ames Little Cyclones offense. Now, Lipsy, we talk about his ability as a basketball player. Certainly a guy in which you're going to have to pay very close attention to in that regard. Actually, it looks like Trenton Smith is going to take the first snap from center for Ames. He takes a high snap, hands it off in no time at all before the ball was tackled in the backfield. Trying to establish a run game is going to be difficult for Ames. Did have a great season statistically from Lipsy, the junior, but we're not seeing Lipsy out there right now. Did not get an update on his availability before the game, but all we do know is that Trenton Smith, the freshman quarterback, is in the game, at least to start this first drive for Ames, wearing those white uniforms with the wind at their back here in the first quarter. Derek Papin, the senior running back, loss of 1 on the first play from scrimmage. Here's Smith. He wants to throw this one high in the air, knocked away. Last little tip of the fingers that time by Jay Seguiniga. So the junior cornerback makes a play on the ball. Ball was intended for this near side to Joe Flannery as a touchdown on the season, a few catches. And now a 3rd and 11. This is the kind of situation Ames can't find themselves in too awful much in this game if they want to keep it close. But this is as good as the Southeast Polk offense has looked the first couple of drives. Their defense is really their main calling card. Some pre-snap movement, they'll blow it dead, and I believe this is going to be a false start. We'll have to get the official word from our referee this evening after a quick conversation with the line judge at the far side of the field. As both teams definitely were moving before the snap, it is who. Nope, they're going to give it on the Rams. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty getting into the neutral zone for Southeast Polk. That's 5 free ones for Ames. Still will be 3rd down, though, 3rd and about 6. And the ball will be spotted at the 28-yard line. Ball right in the middle of the field. Trenton Smith comes back out. If you're wondering, Smith, 12 of 20 passing the ball this year in limited action. No touchdowns, a couple of interceptions, mostly short passes. He is alone in the shotgun with a tight end and 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Man comes in motion. Here's the snap. Smith looks short. Ball may have been tipped to the line of scrimmage, but it was blown up anyway. Excellent job, again, by Jace Aguiniga. And I don't know how often they're going to throw his direction, but, man, he is all over the field in the first couple of plays here for Southeast Polk defensively. And that'll bring out the punt team for Ames on what will be 4th and 6.5 or so from their own 28-yard line. Punting is John Limcool. And that's a low-line drive. Somehow is not blocked. On a bounce, Wampa picks it up, breaks the first tackle, tries to break a second tackle, and then is going to be brought down at about the 48-yard line. In Ram territory, among those in on the stop for Ames, was Jack White. So with 8:22 left, already the 3rd time with the ball for Jackson Daly in this Rams offense. They mentioned they're number 1 in the state. There's number 1 for a reason. We mentioned the Waukee victory, the Valley victory, and the Johnson victory. Those are really the opponents that were quality for this team, but we know the talent. We know the offensive line. Caden Proctor is going to be one of the top recruits. He's only a sophomore. He's going to be one of the top recruits along any offensive line in the country as his career continues to progress. A couple of backs in the pistol, handoff, Christensen right through the gut. He's got another big hole, and he'll get down to the 30-yard line before finally being wrangled by Ames defensive back Mario Napolitano, or Winnie Conta, my mistake. Either way, it was Christensen with a big gash through the middle, a gain of 18. It'll be 1st down. Another correction, it was DeAndre Isaac who was officially on the tackle there for Ames. Those light orange numbers on the white uniform, especially when they're all bunched up. As Daly with a little left-hand throw, that one, I believe, short-hopped his intended target. Incomplete pass. A lot of schools have really cool uniform designs. A lot of those that are really cool you just can't read from a press box, especially when they're all bunched up with padding on a football uniform. Of course, the Southeast Polk uniforms are about as descriptive as it gets. That black with the white numbers and the gold trimming, both on the pants and on the jersey. 3 wide receivers here for Daly on 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line in Little Cyclone territory. He's going to take the snap. He's going to look for a screen pass again. This one is behind his intended target, but still caught down the sideline, trying to cut back. Excellent move before getting tackled inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Quint Christensen picks up the catch. That's just, for Christensen, his 4th catch of the season. But you can see these quick throws. Daly doesn't have to worry about his offensive line protecting him because, first of all, they're a great offensive line. But the design of this offense is to get the ball into the playmakers' hands on the edges, and we have seen that happen with regularity here in the first 4+ minutes of this game. 3 wide receivers, a tight end. Christensen is the back in the gun. Daly getting the signals from multiple coaches on the sideline. Now he's going to move Christensen to his left. out of the gun, 1st and 10 from the 18. He is going to hand it to Christensen, go to the short side of the field. A flag is down. Christensen blasts into the end zone. That's a touchdown, but I think we're going to have a flag that's going to bring this one back, as there might have been a hold on the edge there against the Rams. And that is indeed the case. So wipe that 17-yard touchdown off the board for Christensen. We'll move him back. So a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul might have been just a little bit in front of the line of scrimmage. Either way, it's going to be first, and we'll call it about 19 here for the Rams after the penalty. It was tough to see who was on that far side. It might have been Cole Falloon, who was trying to seal that edge. Either way, you can see the kind of raw speed Christensen has. A lot of people talk about various weapons within this offense, within this team, and I don't think we're talking about Titus Christensen nearly enough. He comes in motion to this near side. Daly looks his direction, now throws a little jailbreak screen behind him. This is Boone Bain. Bain through the middle. He gets inside the 10, and he'll find pay dirt. 25 yards. Boone Bain, his second touchdown reception of the season. That one had the look, little ghost motion there for the running back. Christensen coming to this near side and just kind of tucking behind and underneath. It was a little screen pass just in front of the line of scrimmage to Bain, who came from the slot on the near side over in the early going. Kick is up and good for Josh Wilson, and just like that, not even 5 minutes into this first quarter, Southeast Polk a 21-0 lead over Ames. We'll have the kickoff for you right after this on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
Here is the kickoff from Josh Wilson. This one, another low bouncer, and it'll be just fallen on by Ames at about the 27, 28-yard line. Wilson kicking into the wind with a holder definitely has been fruitful. Not only they did a recovery on one of the little pooch kicks, but really good coverage for Southeast Polk on the other two kickoffs going down the field as well. Evan Gray was the man who jumped on the ball. Let's go ahead and take a look at the scoring play here, and I want you to take a look in the slot. Here in the slot of the three wide receivers you see to the near side, just a little comeback screen pass, and the offensive line able to get downfield legally because that ball is behind the line of scrimmage, and then breaking a little ankle tackle at the end. Boone Bain able to get into the end zone for the third Southeast Polk touchdown in the first 5 minutes of our game here tonight. Flag prior to the snap of this drive. And it will be another encroachment against the Rams, getting a little bit excited. And again, out there at quarterback for Ames is Trenton Smith. So a freshman being relied upon to lead this team offensively. Again, Taman Lipsey, the offensive star for Ames this season, but did not get any word on his availability prior to tonight's game. All we know is what we're seeing out there, and that's Trenton Smith, the freshman quarterback. A little bit of motion with the H-back. Fake handoff, throw over the middle. Great play, but a late flag is going to come in here against Southeast Polk. Jason Guiniga flipped sides of the field on that far side, broke up that pass. Already has one pass breakup, a couple of pass breaks actually on the first drive. But this time I think they're going to give him a pass interference, and they will, and it'll be an automatic first down for the Little Cyclones. So It'll be a 15-yard penalty, not a spot foul in high school football. It's just 15 yards every time. Ball will eventually be rested at the 48-yard line. Ames, good field position now, and a 1st and 10. Here is the snap, drop back, roll out. Smith tries to lob it in the general direction of his receiver, unable to get up high enough to reel that one in. And good coverage down the field, and that's going to be a real key, not just to this game, but to the title chances of number 1 Southeast Polk, is just their general coverage on the back end, allowing their defensive line to get there to the quarterback, to get pressure on the quarterback, and plug up the run game as well. Wampa is the only safety back, as timeout's going to be called by Ames. We'll take the timeout with them. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for Ames when we come back from their own 48-yard line. Southeast Polk leading 21-0 right here on CISN.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
Southeast Polk at 21-0 lead. Ames trying to get themselves a drive. Trenton Smith, the freshman quarterback, being asked to come down from 3 scores already, just over 5 minutes into the first quarter of this game against number 1 Southeast Polk. And he comes out with 3 wide receivers, an H-back, and a running back next to him. H-back Corey Phillips in motion. The snap, Smith in the pocket, now under pressure, throws on the run. Triple coverage end up being in the area. Wampa nearly was able to track that ball down as that was thrown in the direction of Nico Stevens. Stevens dealing with man-to-man coverage from Alec Kligopoulos. I'm telling you, there's a lot of different guys that Southeast Polk can use and utilize for coverage. Also on this near side of the field is Jalen Aguiniga. We talk about both Aguinigas. Great coverage guys on either side of this defense, with Wampa really roaming as the main safety, kind of in that center field position. 3rd and 10 now for Ames. They'll come out with 4 wide receivers to this near side. They didn't get set. Phillips drops a ball that was thrown at him over the middle as Smith was being pressured. The man in on the pressure was Andrew Reed, but this is going to likely be a procedure penalty against Ames. Illegal shift indeed. Did not get everyone set prior to the snap. It will likely be declined because that'll make it a 4th down. And that's the case. It is decline. And, of course, if you're Ames and you want to try to win this game, I'm not sure going for it on 4th and 10 is going to be conducive to that, and they do decide to bring the punt unit onto the field. Limcool will jog back out there. Wind at his back. It was a low-line drive last time that was fielded by Wampa. Jalen Aguiniga is back there as well. 2 return men. This is a bad snap. It one-hops to the punter, Limcool, but he's able to get it off. Aguiniga catches it at his own 21, breaks 2 tackles, gets to the near side. He's across the 35, across the 40, runs into his own blocker, which slows him up, and will eventually be wrangled at about the 44-yard line. So a good return of 23 yards by Jalen Aguiniga, and that'll be a 1st and 10 for Jackson Daly and the Rams, but there's a flag in the backfield, and let's see what that is. Oh, it's a personal foul, roughing the kicker. So bring the defense back out here if you're Southeast Polk. A break there for so 4th and 10 and a punt with a good return. So add 15. You knew it was going to be close because they almost blocked it the first time, his first punt earlier. This punt, You got to give a lot of credit to Limcool back there, being able to pick it up off a hop and get the punt away without it getting touched. If it would have been touched or blocked, then there would have been no roughing. But then they made contact with the punter and give him 15, and Ames keeps the ball. Phillips, little motion. This is going to be a handoff, trying the right side and then being brought down. Great tackle in the backfield by Southeast Polk. That's Papin. Loss of 1 on the play. Caleb Daniels, the senior. Man, he's a large man as well. Saw him earlier this season when I was covering the Waukee Southeast Polk game. Had some cramps. It was a little warmer then, but he was wrecking things on defense. He was catching balls on offense out of his tight end position, and at his defensive end, Daniels, a good job there. Trenton Smith takes a snap, drops back, and now he is under fire, and he's just going to go down. The first man in on the play is Andrew Harris, the 6'2 junior, and he'll be spotted back at the 47-yard line. So that'll bring up what will be a 3rd and 20. And we talked about the coverage being good on the back end, but this defensive line, we talk about the offensive line pushing guys around. This defensive line can get to the quarterback, and they can plug holes to stop run games. This is going to be a tough team to beat. We know Ankeny's got the real explosive offense with all the weapons on the outside, 7 state championships. 4 wide receivers and the tight end, Phillips. Empty set in the shotgun here. And now again, basically a jailbreak, and Smith has nowhere to go. He's just going to fall on it. First man that came flying through the line of scrimmage was Dominic Caggiano. And that'll bring up another 4th down. This one basically from the same spot they had punted before after losing 15 yards on a run and 2 sacks. So for Ames, it doesn't look good. John Limcool right back out there to punt away, and we'll see what the discipline is for the punt block unit for Southeast Polk. This is a better snap, and they're not going to rush nearly with the same kind of intensity, and this ball is going to roll all the way back inside the 5. Can they stop it? They cannot, and that's going to go in the books as a 53-yard punt from Limcool. That one got a little bit of air, unable to field it, because you could see that Jalen Aguinigo wanted to field that ball, but just let it go, and instead of tracking it down, just kind of let it continue to roll. And that big 25-mile-an-hour gusty wind that we have here, which is making it feel like 22 degrees here in Pleasant Hill tonight, took it all the way to the end zone, and Southeast Polk will have possession. A lot of other games going on in high school football around the state of Iowa. We'll continue to give you updates as some of those scores start popping up here. Obviously, they all started about 30 minutes ago. So, looks like they're going to take a timeout for some disinfectant. And we'll go ahead and take a quick break and come back with more. Southeast Polk up by 3 touchdowns here on CISN.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
Out of the timeout, it'll be a reverse. Wampa with nobody in front of him. It's not Wampa, my mistake. Inside the 40 and finally pushed out of bounds. And that was DeAndre Isaac finally forcing the ball carry, Alex LeClaire. My mistake. LeClaire on the reverse. They handed it to Christensen. LeClaire was a wide receiver, split out to that far side, and just came whirling around on the end around, and there was just nobody there. Waukee in action tonight. They are leading Linn-Mar currently 10-0. That's early in the second. After the first quarter, Indianola and Johnston tied at 7. We'll give you more updates on especially the Class 4A games as the night wears on. A couple wide receivers to the far side here for Daly from the 37. Hands it to Christensen. He is going to pick his way and break through up the middle. Unbelievable run, Titus Christensen. Give him 37 yards and another score. Man, we knew that this had the opportunity potentially to be pretty one-sided on the scoreboard. Taman Lipsy, a late scratch. Looking at some of the information that I found out, it wasn't until just before kickoff that it was revealed Lipsy was not going to be playing tonight because of an injury. Not sure what the injury is, but either way, he is not available. And already, Ames is down 28-0. 4 touchdowns in the first 8 minutes and 5 seconds here for the Rams. We'll take a break, come back with more. It's all Southeast Polk right here on Central Iowa Sports Network.
An annual mammogram is still the best way to detect breast cancer early and sets a great example for those you love. With Iowa Radiology's state-of-the-art technology, the best trained team in Iowa, and a passionate dedication to patient care, why would you go anywhere else? For something this important, the choice is simple. Call or text to schedule today or visit iowaradiology.com. See why more women choose Iowa Radiology. Their focus is our good health.
Well, number one looks like number one. Southeast Polk, a 28-0 victory. And nice little crowd here in Pleasant Hill, despite the horrible temperatures for the 23rd of October. Technically 36 degrees, but the real feel with this wind that's just tunneling through here at the stadium at Southeast Polk has made the real feel about 22 degrees. Certainly feels like late November instead of late October. Josh Wilson has it teed up. Jalen Aguinaga is holding it for him. Kicking into the wind. Hits this one again high in the air. It will be fielded cleanly at the 20-yard line by Ames. Picking his way forward and being brought down at about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line on that far side of the field, I believe, was Anthony Davis. And that'll bring out the Ames offense once again. Struggling to move the ball. We're given a couple of first downs via penalty last time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the touchdown from Christensen. It was a shotgun snap, and Daly, it's just a simple handoff. He just kind of stops and then breaks to the outside. No containment there from the front seven of Ames, and then untouched into the end zone, 37 yards. Second touchdown run of the day for Titus Christensen. As Ames desperately in need of a big play, a big drive, and diving ahead and gaining a few yards is Papin for a gain of 3. Derek Papin, going to probably hear his name a lot despite being behind on the scoreboard. It's been pretty evident that it's been tough for Ames to do anything when it is coming to trying to pass the football. And Papin's carried the ball upwards of 60 times this season. Probably going to get a few more touches tonight. 2nd and 7 from the 36, and it's Papin again straight up the middle. This time he might have gained 1 before being plugged up by a host of Rams. First man through looked to be Reed Wolf. So it'll be 3rd and 6. They do give him a yard on the play. And the ball spotted at the 37-yard line in Ames zone territory as we're inside of 3 minutes to play here in this first quarter. I mean, it feels early to be talking about a running clock, but the running clock could be triggered after 35 points, but will only start after the second half kickoff. 3rd down and 6. 3 wide receivers. Smith rolling out. Late blitzer coming, and he'll get there. Reed Wolf again. He was a late blitzer. He was kind of a QB spy in the middle of the field, and then as he saw Smith rolling out to his right to this near side. Just on a beeline, and nobody had the opportunity to block him on the rollout. And that'll bring up a 4th and 15 after a loss of about 10 yards. And so it continues, the defensive domination for Southeast Polk. John Limcool back for another punt. The snap, a little bit low, but fielded. Ball was tipped. It's loose. And getting out of the way of it wisely was Aguiniga. That's Jace Aguiniga. But the punt block, first man through, Ross Cooper. The 6'2 defensive tackle, a senior, got his big paw up there as he came on the rush and did a great job of just going straight vertical. Didn't dive, didn't put himself in a spot where he was going to run into Limcool, got his hand on it, and the ball just rolled about 14, 15 yards down the field, so it could have been worse for Ames. But right back in business, Jackson Daly and the Rams offense. And they'll have the ball 1st and 10 from 37-yard line. Remember, Ames went down to the wire against a winless Cedar Rapids Jefferson last week, able to pick up the win and move into this game. We're going to reseed. I wish I could tell you who the winner of this game would be playing, but we don't know. It'll be tomorrow that we'll find out all the next round. As here's a handoff. Wampa breaks down, throws a man off of him. Flag is on the play behind everything. Getting inside the 20 is Wampa. Now, we talk about his ability as a defensive player because he flies everywhere. He's so fast, has great ball skills when the ball's in the air, as this will be a hold on Southeast Polk. But when he's got the ball in his hands as either a return man, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but he seems like, if you remember Jabril Peppers from Michigan, when he had outrun toward the Heisman Trophy as kind of an all-purpose guy, really kind of reminds me of what Wampa does here for Southeast Polk. And yes, obviously his ability to play with regularity in all 3 phases certainly helps his value to this team. We already know that he's a 4-star recruit as an athlete technically, but probably going to be a safety or defensive back at the next level, wherever he decides to go, still just a junior. But when he's got the ball in his hands, whether it's in the return game, catching passes, running the ball out of the backfield, the guy is tough to bring down, and he's got all the moves to avoid contact. Tight end, 2 wide receivers at the far side, 2 backs this time in a little bit of a different look in the shotgun. Wampa gets it again, tries to get to the near side, cuts it back, gets to the 40, now is going to back up, breaks another tackle, and then will be suplexed backwards. Good tackle that time, staying with the play by Phillips Townsend for Ames. It will be a pickup of about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 15. And at this point of a game, when you're up 4 scores already and it's not yet the end of the first quarter, you're not mad that Xavier Wampa is trying to make a big play, trying to add to that highlight reel. If you're Brad Zelinovich and the rest of the coaching staff for Southeast Polk, he sniffs space, and as long as you feel comfortable giving him the ball, you know that he's got that game-breaker mentality. They're going to give it to him again here. He's going to get to the edge. He's going to cross the 40, get inside the 35 to the 30, lower his head toward the sideline, and go out of bounds. And he'll be maybe a yard, 2 yards shy of a first down on that far side. And it will be a 3rd, and we'll call it 2. So Wampa stays in the game as running back. Couple of different substitutions in here. It looks like they're going to get a little bit fresh legs out there at the receiver position. 2 guys split out wide to the far side of the field, the short side. Tight end to the near side. You got 2 backs. Wampa is the deep back. And we're going to have a stoppage and a timeout, Southeast Polk, with 11 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll take it with them. It's Southeast Polk 28, Ames nothing here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
It'll be a 3rd and 2 for Southeast Polk after they get out of the timeout. Likely to be the last play of this quarter, the first quarter. If you're looking for updates on what's happening around the rest of the state in terms of scores, especially Class 4A, we'll continue to give you updates as we see them, but plenty of other games. Urbandale leads Marshalltown 21-7. Not a real big surprise there. Marshalltown a big favorite. Waukee leading Linn-Mar 10-3. That one a little closer than you would have expected as we head toward the halftime locker room there. There's just about a minute left, and those are a couple of games. We'll continue to give you updates on those as we see them throughout the night. Here's going to be a quick handoff right up the gut. Wampa bounces it back to the outside, inside the 20, inside the 10. He dives for the pylon. Touchdown! And there's the natural speed. Once he got through the initial hole, was able to break it to this near side, all of that space, and dove to the pylon. And if you hit the pylon before going out of bounds, that is a touchdown. And Wampa gets a rushing touchdown for Southeast Polk. Came in with 5 on the ground on the season as Wilson, again, will kick one more extra point into the wind. This one is up. It sneaks through that right upright, and it's good. And just like that, a 35-0 lead for Southeast Polk before the end of the first quarter. We'll take a break, come back with the kickoff right after this on CISN.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Well, 3 seconds still left in the first quarter. It's been a long one in terms of time in real time. We kicked off just after 7 o'clock. It is 44 minutes past 7 o'clock now. But the reason it's been so long is because Southeast Polk has continued to dominate. 35 points, 5 touchdowns already. And I don't think it's going to be too long before we're going to see some second-teamers find a way into the game for Southeast Polk, try to continue to give some rest to the starters of the number 1 team in the state. But we'll see how head coach Brad Zelinovich and the rest of his coaching staff want to handle that as we move forward. Again, running clock is going to be in effect after halftime if the lead is a 35 or more point lead, and that's what we're looking at right now. As Wilson's going to kick this one on the ground, it'll be fielded and jumped on at about the 28-yard line. It's a good job just jumping on it. Again by Davis. The up back. Let's go ahead and as we head to the end of the first quarter, here's the final touchdown of the first quarter. Wampa, last second dive to the end zone and was able to get in. Referee says that was a touchdown, 35-0 after 1 quarter of play. We'll be back with the second right after this on CISN.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
And the first snap of the second quarter, Trenton Smith completes it to Corey Phillips. Phillips, in his big frame, falls forward to about the 35-yard line. Pickup of 7. That's actually the most productive offensive play for Ames. And that's how we start the second quarter. Southeast Polk, number 1 team in the state, a 35-0 lead quickly. And it was really a recovery, like a quick touchdown after a couple of minute drive, a recovery of a kickoff because of that stiff wind that's in the face going from right to left. And going up by 2 touchdowns 3 minutes into the game, that is a huge buzzkill for an Ames team that already is without their star player, Taman Lipsey, who we found out just before kickoff was not going to play quarterback due to an injury tonight against Southeast Polk. High snap, Smith a good job pulling it down, hands it off, and going down after a short gain maybe is the running back, Derek Papin. And again, Caleb Daniels was the man on the stop. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 3 for Ames at their own 36-yard line. $10:40 to go here in the first half. While the clock is running. There is no running clock until after the second half begins, as there's going to be another timeout, this time by Ames. So Ames will talk it over. 10:29 left first half. Still 35-0 Southeast Polk over Ames right here on CISN.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, a medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel with Twix candy pieces. Get yours today.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. Without question, the COVID-19 pandemic created many disruptive changes in our lives. Some of us got sick, jobs and income were compromised, it was difficult to even spend time with family and friends. But one thing hasn't changed, and that's Westside Auto Pro's commitment to quality service, and that will never change. We're here to make sure you get maximum performance and reliability from your vehicle. So as we all move forward, keep Westside Auto Pros in mind. You've been through enough. We'll make sure your car is the least of your worries.
Ames breaks the huddle. They'll come back out onto the field. We'll give you some updates of some metro area schools here momentarily. We're trying to keep up to date the best we can on all this stuff as the game wears on. As for now, Trenton Smith, the freshman quarterback, takes the snap. He's looking to throw, fires over the middle. The ball is caught by Phillips. It is a first down. Tries to break a tackle, but good job by Wampa to wrestle Phillips and his – I mentioned his large frame. Let's go ahead and just tell you that this guy, not only is he a big tight end, but he's a big basketball player as well. He started on the basketball floor along with Taman Lipsey and others for this Ames program. He's a junior, 6 feet 5 inches, 250 pounds, listed as a tight end. That is about as large a tight end you're going to see in Iowa, the Class 4A level. Here is an empty set, tight end, 4 wide receivers. And they're going to do a little reverse. The ball is fumbled, though. Deep into the backfield. Ball still loose. It is knocked around, still on the ground. Who's going to dive on it? And I believe Ames was able to jump on it deep inside their own 15-yard line. It felt like Southeast Polk was trying to scoop it up and maybe try to run it in, more so than trying to just fall on it and get the ball back. But either way, it'll be a very long conversion attempt now after the little pitch on the end around was bobbled and muffed. I believe it was Evan Gray who was coming in motion to take that pitch, but just could not wrangle it. And now it is second, and we'll call it 36. They're at the 15-yard line, got to get all the way to the 49 in Southeast Polk territory for another first down. And only one first down. We just saw the first down of the game, besides a couple of penalty first downs for Ames on the play prior. Flag before the snap. It's blown dead. We'll see what it is. We've had already a couple of encroachment penalties against the Southeast Polk defensive line. Do they get antsy again, or was this one on the offense? So 5 more yards tacked on with the false start. And 8:57 to go. Bad becomes worse for the Little Cyclones. So we'll get 2 plays, maybe 3, depending on how Kevin Ferguson and his staff want to keep playing this, down by 5 touchdowns. Here is the snap. And they're just going to hand it to Papin. Papin tries to get outside. Cannot. Great job getting to the ball. First man through the hole was Austin Enos. Down at about the 6-yard line is where they're going to mark it. So moving backwards here. And it's going to be 3rd and 45 from their own 6-yard line. I don't know if I've seen a longer attempt at a conversion. So we'll see what the Ames play call is. They obviously were just thinking draw, try to get whatever we can back. That didn't work. Went backwards even further. And now we'll break the huddle, looking to try to get whatever they can of this 45 yards they need before the first down. Again, they're going to hand it to Papin. Papin is going to be wrangled and brought down inside the 5-yard line, and just pinning the ears back and just blasting through into the backfield is Southeast Polk. Andrew Reed, one of the first men in on the stop. And now, with the wind blowing directly in their face, Ames is going to be asking their kicker, their punter, John Limcool, while his heels are on the edge of the end zone, the back of the end zone, he is going to have to catch. He's already been under pressure several times, had a punt that was tipped at the line of scrimmage last time he was out here. And now with a 25-mile-an-hour wind in his face and less room to get a punt off. Low snap, he's able to get it and get it in the air. This is a short punt. It's going to be caught at the 20-yard line by Wampa. And that's where this Southeast Polk drive will begin. So saying that they have good field position is an understatement after what was a fourth and roughly 48 for Ames. The punt goes technically, I believe, 16 yards from where the line of scrimmage was to where Wampa made the fair catch. And it will be Southeast Polk with the ball with 6:29, and they already are just winding the clock and letting it run. So, 35-0 the score. Daly has one man behind him. That's Titus Christensen, still first-teamers out here for Southeast Polk. Daly fakes the handoff, looking to throw, fires it toward the end zone, looking for Daniels, and the wind certainly, I think, played a factor in that play because as you're going to be seeing from left to right here with these balls kind of floated in the air like that, as we got a man hurt for Ames in the back of the end zone. Well, with the wind blowing the way that it is, any ball that's in the air is going to be pushed. So we'll take a break and try to identify the injured player for Ames down in the back of the end zone. But with just under 6 minutes to go first half, 35-0 Southeast Polk over Ames right here on CISN.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
An annual mammogram is still the best way to detect breast cancer early and sets a great example for those you love. With Iowa Radiology's state-of-the-art technology, the best trained team in Iowa, and a passionate dedication to patient care, why would you go anywhere else? For something this important, the choice is simple. Call or text to schedule today or visit iowaradiology.com. See why more women choose Iowa Radiology. Their focus is our good health.
Obsessively, relentlessly. That's what you can always expect, even when faced with the unexpected. It's a service we take seriously, providing comfort in the rain, tools to help you save, a helping hand along the way, and from a safe distance away, delivering the energy you need while going the extra mile. Regardless of the times, our team remains committed to you.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
5:53 left in the second quarter and timeout on the field for an injured player. We've learned it's Braden Bielner, a sophomore defensive back for Ames, that is back in the end zone, has been injured, seemed to have landed wrong as he was trying to defend Caleb Daniels on the deep pass play for Southeast Polk on first down, and is still down being tended to. But did just want to give you an update that as people have gone down there and checked on him, can't really see him, but they continue their work. But we'll go ahead and step aside one more time as they continue to try to get Braden Bielner back on his feet and helped onto the sideline. But for now, it's 5:53 to go, first half, 35-0 Southeast Polk over Ames on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Injured player Braden Bielner up on his feet, slowly being walked toward the Ames sideline. Not going to speculate as to what the injury might be, but glad to see him up and walking off on his own power with a little bit of assistance. Now, Southeast Polk will have the ball. It will be second down and 10 from the 19-yard line of Ames. 35-0 they lead, number one team in the state. A couple of scores that we do have rolling in. It is halftime. Waukee taking on Linmar. Waukee leading 13-3 at the half. Western Dubuque and West Delaware are playing. That's a lower score there for you, but it's 21-13 in favor of West Delaware there late first half. Also, Bettendorf at the half leading Muscatine 7-0. A couple of Eastern Iowa Class 4A schools. Here's a quick handoff. Christensen to the outside, finds the edge, and he scores again. Third touchdown of the first half for Titus Christensen. This one just a sweep around the right end, tightrope the sideline, and no one was there. And that'll be touchdown number 6 already for Southeast Polk with the extra point pending. With 5:38 to go in the first half, Josh Wilson will have another extra point opportunity here. Here's the snap. Hold is down. Kick is on the way. And the kick is good. 42-0. Southeast Polk keeps pouring it on over Ames right here in second-round playoff action on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Now Southeast Polk a 42-0 lead over Ames, getting ready to tee it up. For the first time, Josh Wilson's going to have a chance to kick it with the wind at his back. Some other games happening. We'll try to give you some of these. Central Iowa schools. First quarter update, Harlan is 6-0 lead over Bondurant Farrar. Dallas Center Grimes, last check, was down 14-0 to Carlisle. Of course, that's still a first-half score. These are not necessarily 100% up to date, but 14-0 Carlisle at last check, leading over DCG as Wilson tees it up, hits it high in the air. This one will be fielded at the 6-yard line by Ames. A nice little cutback there, but the Southeast Polk coverage team not going to allow the return man to get past the 19-yard line. So that'll be where Trenton Smith and Southeast Polk, where Ames will, as Derek Papin, I believe, was the man who returned the ball. Andrew Reed among the first players to get to the ball carrier and bring him down, and the Ames offense will come back out here, trailing by 42 points. Here's the last touchdown. You can see Christensen goes to the left side of Daly, the quarterback, gets a simple handoff, gets outside, the only man that was in his way, and turned it upfield. Nobody else was there. No containment from the Ames defense, and the third touchdown rushing for Christensen in the first half. Throwing across the body, dangerous throw, and it is intercepted. I've said this name an awful lot. Andrew Reed from his linebacker position read the eyes of Smith. The ball didn't get high enough, and he pulled it in. Great athletic, acrobatic interception, and Southeast Polk takes possession from the Ames 27-yard line. As the clock continues to run, it is the running clock here, and he gets to pull out the championship belt, show it off. The Southeast Polk crowd in attendance in this cold weather cheers for him as he shows it to the fans. Gotta love these turnover chains, turnover championship belts, turnover caps that a lot of these programs are using these days. As here's a little screen pass to the far side, turning it upfield, breaking a couple of tackles inside the 15, and just a little misdirection screen pass to the junior tight end Jordan Mitchell. Mitchell going to be brought down at about the 11-yard line. So keeping Daly out there. A lot of first-teamers still playing. It was Jack White. He was on the tackle for Ames on that far sideline. They'll have a couple of wide receivers to the near side, one to the far side. Got a new running back in the game for Southeast Polk. Daly still in at quarterback. Here's the snap. Daly looks to throw toward the end zone. Fires just a little bit out of the reach of his intended target. Caden Proctor, who the outstanding sophomore, 6'7", 285, he's listed, still blocking hard from his left tackle position. Caden Proctor going to be getting plenty of attention from Power 5 Division I schools. He already has, but he's going to be getting even more. He's going to be one of the top offensive linemen available in his class. Still 2 more years of high school, but he is a gigantic kid, Caden Proctor, on that left side of the offensive line. Luke Worthman is the senior running back alongside Daly. It is 2nd and 10 from about the 13 is where they mark it. They'll hand it off to him, tries to get outside, cuts it back. He'll be tackled inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line by a trio of Ames defenders. Southeast Polk with that 42-0 lead, the running clock already on. A couple other scores. Ankeny really putting it on Council Bluffs. Thomas Jefferson, 29-0. That was in the second quarter. Des Moines Christian trailing Atlantic 14-0. We'll get to more of those scores as we move on. Is timeout Ames. They'll take a timeout, so will we. 1:45 left first half, 42-0 Southeast Polk leading Ames right here on Central Iowa Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
42-0 is our score. Southeast Polk leading Ames with 1:45 to go in the first half. And Jackson Daly on third and about 5 from inside the 10-yard line as Southeast Polk trying to put up another score. Worthman to the left of Daly takes a snap. He'll hand it to him. Worthman trying to race to on this side says he was down. So where will they mark him? On 4th and 1, do we just leave the offense out here and punch this thing in, or do we bring the kicking unit out here and try to kick a field goal? Which is the... And it looks like the offense is going to stay out here. 10 on the play clock. Daly has Worthman to his right, 2 wide receivers to the far side. The snap, and it will be a handoff. Worthman tries to break a tackle. I'm not sure he got it. I think he is stopped short, and that's a good job along that defensive line of making sure that the tackle was made. Phillips Townsend able to, from behind, to bring down the running back Luke Worthman, and it will indeed flip the ball back over to Ames. We'll get at least one more play here of the first half, but a good stand. You know, you ask, you know, the grit and the amount of want and the amount of effort that your team has down 6 touchdowns in a situation like this, the playoffs, the season's going to be over, assuming, of course, that this score holds up. You know, no reason to believe it wouldn't. And it's good to see that defensive line stand up to the occasion inside the 10-yard line. Just a handoff to the right side. Papin is going to be brought down, and that'll be the end of the first half. Southeast Polk really showing off 42-0 over Ames. And this halftime, certainly, I don't know how much Brad Zelinovich will have to say, but his number 1 ranked Rams look every bit the part against Ames here tonight. We'll take a break, come back with the halftime show right after this on CISN.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At Mid-American Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
An annual mammogram is still the best way to detect breast cancer early and sets a great example for those you love. With Iowa Radiology's state-of-the-art technology, the best trained team in Iowa, and a passionate dedication to patient care, why would you go anywhere else? For something this important, the choice is simple. Call or text to schedule today or visit iowaradiology.com. See why more women choose Iowa Radiology. Their focus is our good health.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee, during Jeep to 6,050 off.
First to build Iowa.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. Without question, the COVID-19 pandemic created many disruptive changes in our lives. Some of us got sick, jobs and income were compromised, it was difficult to even spend time with family and friends. But one thing hasn't changed, and that's Westside Auto Pro's commitment to quality service, and that will never change. We're here to make sure you get maximum performance and reliability from your vehicle. So as we all move forward, keep Westside Auto Pros in mind. You've been through enough. We'll make sure your car is the least of your worries.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, a medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel, Twix candy pieces. Get yours today.
An annual mammogram is still the best way to detect breast cancer early and sets a great example for those you love. With Iowa Radiology's state-of-the-art technology, the best trained team in Iowa, and a passionate dedication to patient care, why would you go anywhere else? For something this important, the choice is simple. Call or text to schedule today or visit iowaradiology.com. See why more women choose Iowa Radiology. Their focus is our good health.
Obsessively, relentlessly. That's what you can always expect, even when faced with the unexpected. It's a service we take seriously, providing comfort in the rain, tools to help you save, a helping hand along the way. and from a safe distance away. Delivering the energy you need while going the extra mile. Regardless of the times, our team remains committed to you.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Here's this quick package of highlights as part of the 42-0 first half for Southeast Polk. Titus Christensen got things going with what was a 47-yard touchdown run. I had just gotten done talking about how Southeast Polk likes to have ball control, but certainly had a lot of very quick scores there as well. Recovered a strange kickoff straight into the wind, which gave them the football back. It was no time. In fact, the first play after that, at the Rams here, Jackson Daly took the snap and gave it to game breaker Xavier Wampa straight up the gut after a quick cut, and nobody touched him for a touchdown. Later on in the first quarter, 5 of the 6 touchdowns all happened in the first quarter. Quick little handoff. Look at Titus Christensen just picking his way forward down to about the 30-yard line on that particular run for about 17, 18 yards. And then a little ghost motion from the running back. Quick little screen underneath. Call that the jailbreak screen because there's just no defender there that can make a play. And then Boone Bain able to go all the way for the touchdown. After that, it was another handoff here for Titus Christensen, who, after trying to go up the middle, balanced it just off of right tackle. Able to go straight up the middle and found pay dirt once again. 3 first-half rushing touchdowns for him. 2 for Xavier Wampa. Here's the second. He get through a big hole up front, cut it to this outside on the near side, dove to the pylon, and it was called a touchdown for the 4-star athlete here in Southeast Polk. For Ames, this was a big play as they were trying to move the ball forward. Right after they picked up their first down without the help of a penalty on a designed reverse and end around, the ball was muffed, fumbled all the way back inside the 10. And then, after another touchdown was scored by Southeast Polk, a great interception there for Southeast Polk. Andrew Reed, who we said his name an awful bunch in that first half. And add all that up, what do you get? 42-0 Southeast Polk at the half. The number 1 team in the state looking exactly like it as part of our Iowa Corn halftime show. Thanks Iowa Corn for bringing you this particular halftime show, as though I feel like the Ames locker room, maybe a few things to talk about. Southeast Polk head coach Brad Zelinovich probably not going to be talking about too awful much in regards to this game. Maybe cleaning some stuff up with the running clock in effect as they prepare for an unknown opponent, at least at this point, for next week's 3rd round of the playoffs. We'll go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we'll get you set for the second half. Number 1, Southeast Polk, a big lead, 42-0 over Ames, right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from Schottenkirk Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola, SchottenkirkFord.com.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
In Iowa, we grow corn. But to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
42-0, number one Southeast Polk leading Ames. Ames certainly hampered by the last-minute scratch of their star player, quarterback Taman Lipsey, not playing because of an undisclosed injury. Didn't hear about that until right before kickoff, but it has not mattered to Southeast Polk. While the offense for Ames may have been hampered by that, the number one team in the state looks every bit the part there. Let's definitely want to talk about some of the other scores happening that are noticeable. Webster City and Mason City playing. Webster City a 20-16 lead. That's mid-third quarter there. This game a little bit behind a lot of the other games happening. Fort Dodge has a lead. Sioux City West. By the score I'm looking at right now, and this is a Central Iowa game, Carlisle has a 42-7 lead over Dallas Center Grimes. I'm very surprised at that. Dallas Center Grimes didn't have the toughest of schedules, but that is certainly a surprising score, to say the least. Pleasant Valley taking care of Davenport Central, another Class 4A matchup. That's not a surprise. That's 37-0. That's at the half, so another blowout in that regard there. Trying to find several other games that are happening. Fort Dodge and Waterloo West, I mentioned that score. Fort Dodge holding on to a lead there. Some of the other Central Iowa scores, these may not be 100% current up to date, but they at least were updated at some point in this one. Obviously 42-0 here. Van Meter, a 29-0 lead, that one in the third quarter. We knew Van Meter was going to be tough first couple of rounds in the playoffs, a team that's certainly title aspirations. Ankeny Centennial leading Sioux City East 20-0. That was in the second quarter. Sioux City East 6-1 on the season, but again, strength of schedule was super low considering some of the other schools coming out of Central Iowa like Ankeny Centennial. Bondurant Farrar trailing Harlan 16-0. That's in the second quarter. We mentioned that Carlisle Dallas Center Grimes game. Carlisle 42-7 over Dallas Center Grimes. That is a crazy score to say the least. Ankeny a 29-0 lead over Council Bluffs Thomas Jefferson. That was also a second quarter score. Pleasant Valley, as mentioned, a 23-0 lead over Davenport Central. Prairie, Cedar Rapids Prairie, a 13-0 lead over Davenport North. That was in the second as well. Des Moines Christian trailing Atlantic at the half, 14-0. Trying to pinpoint a couple more before we have our kickoff here. Wind still blowing pretty solid here, about 21 degrees as we start the second half. Southeast Polk kicks it to Ames. Ames with the return. Straight up the gut, a little bit of space. Getting out to about the 26-yard line is the return man. That's, again, the running back, Derek Papin, on the return. Still looking at some scores of note for Central Iowa. Indianola a 14-7 lead over Johnston at the half. That one we knew was going to be pretty competitive coming in, and that is shown to be the case so far. Iowa City Liberty lost to Hempstead 42-7. Iowa City High and Iowa City West playing at 28-0 West, the lead at the half. That's no surprise there, as Trenton Smith back out to do some work at the quarterback spot, and Ames is going to have to call a timeout before the first play of the second half. We'll take a break with them. 42-0. Southeast Polk has themselves a big lead, and we'll be back with more after this right here on CISN.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Speaking of Iowa Corn, big thanks to them for sponsoring a halftime show on Iowa Corn Halftime Show. Southeast Polk coming out of the timeout defensively with a 42-0 lead over Ames. Trenton Smith getting set to run the first play from scrimmage of the second half. Running clock in effect. There's a flag and the play blown dead. I believe you're going to get a false start with the wide receiver on this near side. Some other scores in Central Iowa. Waukee in the third quarter leading Linn-Mar 20-3. Waukee looks like they're on their way to potentially a third-round berth. Lewis Central leading Norwalk 21-0. Norwalk, a team that just couldn't quite put her all together this year. That one was a second quarter score. PCM leading Sadell. That was a first quarter score, 28-0. So really putting it on Sadell is PCM. Dowling Catholic leading Sioux City North 16-3. That was a second quarter score as Smith throws to the far side, a little bit short of the intended target. Smith was hit as he threw and is down, and it looks like they're going to need to get some help coming on for the quarterback, Trenton Smith. The freshman pinched into duty here with the last-minute scratch of Taman Lipsey, the star quarterback. He was hit as he threw. The ball was a little bit short of the intended target, as usual with those kind of contacts. But obviously already dealing with Lipsey being out and now Smith being tended to on the field. So we'll go ahead and step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll give you an update if we out one right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
At Mid-American Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Trenton Smith being helped to the sideline. We'll see who's going to have to take this next snap because Smith will be out for at least a play, but he is walking off on his under his own power. Just to recap, I did say Dowling Catholic in the second quarter, a 16-3 lead over Sioux City North. West Des Moines Valley, a 17-0 lead over Council Bluffs Abe Lincoln. That's a third quarter score. Valley looks like they're going to find a way to the third round. They're on the road for that game, believe it or not. As here is the snap, and forging ahead is Papin for maybe a yard. Noah Madsen, the junior, is in the game. Madsen has appeared in a game before this year. 3 for 6 throwing the football for just 8 yards. Also has carried the ball once for a 14-yard pickup, but in very limited action. The junior in a playoff game here, going to be asked to go for a little bit at least while Trenton Smith deals with an injury. 3rd and 16 at the 21-yard line. Empty set, under pressure. Madsen rolls to his right, trips, falls, incomplete pass. He was nearly on the turf before getting rid of the ball. Either way, the clock will continue to run. And it will be 4th and long, and it will be a punt situation for the Little Cyclones. John Limcool will be back to punt it away. Still, the same two deep men returning, Jalen Aguinaga and then Xavier Wampa. Those are the two men that are standing at the 43-yard line. Wind still blowing about 25 miles an hour into the face of Limcool. Not going to be an easy punt. The punt is up, high in the air. Wampa will field it but drop it. After the muff, he's going to jump on it himself, so it'll be Ram football at the 33-yard line, and that's where Southeast Polk will take over for this offensive possession, and we'll see what the lineup looks like for them. Jackson Daly will come out to at least for this start this first drive for Southeast Polk at quarterback. Man comes in motion. Snap. It is going to be a screen pass to the far side. And a good tackle is made out in the flat for Ames. That is Jack White on the tackle. Cole Falloon was the target after coming in motion and yard line here for Southeast Polk. Another new running back in the game, Abu Sama, a sophomore for Southeast Polk now in the backfield alongside Daly. Daly will go to Falloon here. It is through his hands, and it's an incomplete pass on a forward pass. So Falloon on the little screen pass loses a couple and then can't quite squeeze this screen pass. For the third different play, a third new running back. This one, Ian Breimeyer. Breimeyer now will join Daly in the backfield. And it'll be third and, we'll call it 13 for Southeast Polk from the Ames 36-yard line. You need to get to the 23 to pick up a first down. The snap, Daly drops back. Looks like they're trying to set up a screen, but then the ball is fired past the outstretched arm of the running back, Breimeyer. They were trying to set it up. Breimeyer couldn't quite leak out in enough time to get in a position to catch the ball. And on 4th and 13, it's obviously too far for a field goal. A field goal would be just shy of 50 yards from this spot. Actually, it'd be just shy of 60 yards from this spot, the way that they're lining up. And they got, it'd be about a 50-yard field goal instead of kicking it or punting it. Daly is going to roll out, throw it deep. He's got a man down there, and it is caught. Oh, and he dropped it. It was a touchdown in the arms of the intended target, Kyle Sisler. Sisler, a junior, was down there, got behind the defense. Ball hung up a little bit. Looked like it landed right in the breadbasket. And Sisler has just one catch on the season, no touchdowns. It certainly would have been the highlight of the year for him, but unfortunately got down there and just could not squeeze it. Good effort, though, on what was a 4th down play. Pretty good throw from Daly. Daly definitely gave him a shot to catch it, but with the defender kind of getting back into the play there toward the end of the play, as there's a great hit on the completed screen pass. Great job by Sam Good getting into the backfield, a sophomore. And actually the ball was dropped on the contact, so instead of it being a catch and a loss of about 4, it actually works out for Ames where it's just an incomplete pass. And they'll set up a 2nd and 10 from their own 36-yard line. It's still Noah Madsen in the game, the junior at quarterback. Takes the snap, he's looking to throw. Fires a screen pass, this one on the fingertips and complete. Short gain on this near sideline. Man on the reception is Evan Gray, the junior, one of the more popular targets. In fact, he led this team in receptions on the year, did Evan Gray, with 25 coming into this game. But, of course, a vast majority of those were with Taman Lipsy at quarterback. If you missed it, Lipsy, we hyped him up, talked all about him. Great basketball player, but also exciting to watch on the football field. And right before kickoff, we found out that he was not going to be playing tonight because of an undisclosed injury. And it was freshman Trenton Smith who was quarterbacking until the last drive where he got injured. And Noah Madsen has had to come into the game for him. This ball might have been tipped to the line of scrimmage in the general vicinity of Joe Flannery on this near side, and that'll set up a 4th and 5. That ball well short, but may have been knocked down, and Ames decides that discretion is the better part of valor. They're going to come out here with the punt unit, despite one of the more makeable 4th down conversion attempts they might have had, but down by 6 touchdowns, decide that they're just going to kick this ball away. New return man is deep for Southeast Polk. As this punt in the air, Wynn's knocking it down. We'll see where it bounces. It looks like it'll come to rest just about the 41-yard line. For Southeast Polk, the return man didn't get a chance to touch the football, but Zach Thielen is his name. So Zach will have to wait for another punt to get a chance with the ball in his hands. We knew with the expanded playoffs there were going to be some lopsided scores, and we're getting a lot of those here in week number 2 of the playoffs, round 2 of the playoffs. Every team qualified for the playoffs because, of course, not very many weeks to try to determine which teams should be in the playoffs. As here's a little handoff. And trying to break a tackle, get to the outside. That's a good run to the outside. Ball squirts loose late, but not before getting out of bounds. Was the running back Abu Sama. And that'll be right about 10 yards and a first down. So a good carry by Sama, the sophomore, 5 foot 10 inch, 175 pounds. Third or fourth running back on the depth chart. But in a game like this, a chance to get some additional touches. 1st and 10 from the Ames 49 for the Rams. Daly still in there at quarterback. Certainly not going to be taking any hits, you wouldn't think. And he'll hand it to Sama again. Sama using that vision, pops to the left side, gets inside the 40, down to the 33 or so yard line. Another good run, and great job pushing those defenders around by that big offensive line, which continues. I believe all first-teamers still out there, but they are wreaking havoc, not just all season long, but tonight as well. Got to let you know that the playoffs, it's not your typical bracket setup. It really is a round-by-round reseeding process, little pods for these first couple of rounds because several teams had byes because of the odd number of teams that are involved. Here's a quick handoff. Worthman straight up the gut. He got himself inside the 15, down at about the 9-yard line or so. Luke Worthman, the 5'11", 180-pound senior running back, getting a chunk on the ground right up the gut. Trying to punch another one in here are the Rams. As time inside of a half minute to go here in the third quarter with the running clock in effect. Daly takes a snap, hands it to Worthman. Worthman tries off left tackle, can't quite get to the outside. Caden Proctor trying to clear the way for him. Reese Steele also, another blocker out there. Cade Borud. Caleb Grawl was the man who got into the backfield and got the tackle. Jake Vore as well, another senior. Among those of these fantastic offensive linemen for the Southeast Polk program. Third quarter's over. We'll flip sides of the field. It's still 42-0. Number 1 Southeast Polk with the lead right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
In Iowa, we grow corn. But to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
So Southeast Polk getting set for what will be a 2nd and goal from the Ames 9-yard line. Now on the left side of our field, moving into the wind, leading by 6 touchdowns, 42-0. Thank you for joining us. The crowd's thinned out a little bit with the outcome never really in doubt. 5 first-quarter touchdowns, 2 in the first 3 minutes, with the help of a strange kickoff that was recovered on a live ball by Southeast Polk. And they have not looked back as they, the number 1 team in the state, looking to punch their ticket officially into the third round of the playoffs. Abu Sama, as there's a flag at the snap, he's going to try to stretch it out to the pylon. Can he get to the edge? I think he's short. It was close. And they're going to mark him out at about the 1, but there was a flag basically as the snap occurred from the far side line judge, and I'm sure this is going to be a procedure call against Southeast Polk. Maybe a hold, maybe a shifting, maybe something along the line of scrimmage. And it's 2 different penalties. So it was an illegal procedure call, I believe, an illegal formation of sorts against Southeast Polk, and then a hold as well. Only one of those penalties will be enforced, and it'll be another second and goal, you would think. The holding penalty is a 10-yard penalty. You would think that that's going to be the one in which they'll walk off. So the illegal formation is declined. They'll push him back 10 yards from where the illegal hold took place, so that'll be second and goal. It'll be technically a 7-yard penalty back to the 16. So the offense go back out here. So instead of third and goal from the 1, it's second and goal from the 16-yard line. Daly in the gun, takes the snap. He'll hand it to Sama again, this time straight up the gut, and he's going to be tore down at about the 13-yard line to pick up of 3, and that'll bring up third and goal. Try to give you at least one more update on some of these scores involving Central Iowa teams. Haven't gotten a lot of updates since we last talked about it. We do have Cedar Falls in the mix in the third quarter. Cedar Falls a 21-0 lead over Cedar Rapids, Washington. Again, not a whole lot of 4A surprises from the scores that we expected and the scores that we have now. Ankeny has now a 56-0 lead over Council Bluffs Thomas Jefferson. That's a third quarter score. But if you were expecting one of the big boys to fall, that has not happened. Not here in the second round of the playoffs. Southeast Polk breaks the huddle. And Daly in the gun. Luke Worthman next to him. Daly takes a snap. He will hand to Worthman. He counters straight up the middle. Stays on his feet, diving toward the end zone, and they're going to mark him just short at the 1-yard line. Luke Worthman showing some great balance, slipping through some tackles and getting down to the 1 is where he's marked down, and it looks like Southeast Polk wants to go. Daly's going to be under center for the first time tonight. Takes the snap, hands it to the first man through, and getting into the end zone is a touchdown. Southeast Polk adds another. It was the first man through, the fullback Mason Rankin, a senior, getting the handoff, blasting through. That's his second touchdown of the season, just the third time he's carried the ball all year. I'm sure the touchdown was very similar to that, just a 1-yard plunge. As Wilson on for, as timeout's going to be called, I believe Southeast Polk did not have the right personnel, trying to mix and match. So they're going to have a new kicker. It's not going to be Wilson. Southeast Polk call a timeout. We'll just keep it here while they reline up. The new kicker, Kale Nav. A junior, tall kid, listed at 6 feet 4 inches tall. With 9:55 left in our game, running clock of course, go ahead and tell you right now that that was our Deary Brothers drive of the game. Deary Brothers Mason Rankin, the fullback. Daly under center, that sometimes can be a little bit tricky as well. But Rankin blasts through, gets the touchdown, and that is the capper of the Deary Brothers drive of the game. Deary Brothers visit them in Waukee, and they'll take great care of you as well. Lining up for the extra point now officially is a left-footed kicker, Kale Nave. My mistake for mispronouncing his name the first time. Nave on. Snap, hold. And it looks like Daly mishandled the snap, so now he'll throw to the end zone. Nearly a one-hand catch made in the end zone on a broken play. Just try to get the 2-point conversion. Jordan Mitchell went up, got a hand on it, but couldn't reel it in. Either way, 48-0, 9:55 to go. We'll take a break. Kickoff coming up next right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
I believe Cale Nave getting set to kick off into the wind. Under 10 minutes to play. Southeast Polk on their way to the third round of the playoffs. Now it's just a matter of staying healthy and getting out of here in one piece. We don't know who each team's opponents are going to be. The Iowa High School Athletic Association is going to take a look at everything that happens with the winners in all 16 games today and match up the opponents. And we're going to get a lot more competitive matchups next week. And the wind blows the ball off the tee, so I think we're going to have to get a holder for Nave. This time the holder will be Kyle Sisler. Sisler gets the chance to hold for Cale Nave as he gets his first kickoff of the game. And it's a little short kick. It'll be fallen on by Ames at the 38-yard line. The man on the recovery for Ames was Kyle Martin, a senior defensive back. And now we're getting a lot of second-string players on the field for the Rams. It will once again be Noah Madsen, the junior quarterback, out there for another drive of work. As we count down to about 9 minutes to go, it's going to be a quick handoff and maybe 2 yards for the running back, Derek Papin, before a few different players get in there for Southeast Polk. First guy, Benjamin Schrock, that I noticed. And Logan Harris as well in on the stop from the linebacker position. Try to get as many of these kids' names on here for you as they make plays and their action at the end of this second-round playoff game. Madsen takes a snap in the shotgun, looks to throw, fires it high. That's going to be out of bounds over the head of Corey Phillips. The offensive line for Ames has had their hands full with that front all day long of Southeast Polk, and even the second-teamers blasting through there. That time off the near side, Zach Brannon, the junior. Brock Jackson, the senior, in the middle, putting the pressure on Madsen, making him look quickly. Here's a quick snap. Madsen's going to hand it to Papin. Papin off left guard. He's going to run over a man and get the first down to the 49-yard line. It's a good run by Derek Papin. He certainly is not leaving anything out here on the field. Papin, a senior. This will be his last game of his high school career. Ames, along with the Iowa City School District and the Des Moines Public School District, for a couple of weeks there, all were having issues with virtual learning and getting in compliance with state and Board of Education regulations here in the state of Iowa. Ames and Iowa City were able to figure it out. Of course, the Des Moines Public School District won't even have in-person classes beginning until a few weeks from now in early November. As this is going to be Papin again as he falls forward. Tackle is going to be made, that time by Gavin McCrory. Papin running hard here in the fourth quarter as Ames going to try to move it on down the field, try to score, get off the goose egg that's sitting up there right now. Madsen brings the play into the huddle. Always tough, not having your star player in Taman Lipsy, but then having to eventually go to a third quarterback on the roster. But Madsen trying to do his best to lead his team down the field. Phillips in motion. Here's a snap. Play action. Rolling to his left. Firing and completing the pass. I believe that's Evan Gray. Actually, that is not Evan Gray. That is Anthony Davis on the reception. And that'll move the chains. 32-yard line is where the marking will be. But a good job rolling to left and completing the pass there by Noah Madsen. 6:20 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Madsen is a running back to his left. 3 wide receivers in the tight end. Phillips goes in motion to the other side of the formation. Madsen drops the snap. Ball is loose. Madsen picks it up. He's going to run. And now he's going to throw just high, looking for Gray on the near side. That's a good job by Madsen just to keep the play alive and avoid the impending rush as the defensive end, Zach Brandon, had come off of his block, and Madsen was able to elude him and at least give Evan Gray a chance. Madsen in the pistol now. Phillips again in motion. Here's a handoff. Papin stops, tries to go in the middle. That's a good job by containing. I believe it was Nick Harmon. It's hard to tell on that far side, but it was a good job just forcing the runner to go back inside. Among those in on the tackle after the adjustment was Sam Good. Also in on the play, Nicholas Walker. It's a gain of 1 for Papin. It'll be 3rd and 9. As Madsen walking along the sideline, it looks like they're going to have to call a timeout here. And they will. So with 4:34 left, Ames will burn a timeout as they try to convert on 3rd and 9. Southeast Polk, though, well in control here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Out of the timeout, Ames throws over the middle and nearly intercepted by the deep safety for Southeast Polk, Quincy Foster, and it drops harmlessly incomplete, and that'll bring up a 4th and 9. Ames going to stay out on the field with the offense, try to pick this up and try to get some points on the scoreboard at the end of this drive. Empty set, 4 receivers coming to this near side, 1 to the far side. 4th and 9. Madsen takes the snap. Little jailbreak screen look. That's a nice catch. Reaching up and making the play. Spinning out of one tackle, trying to get to the first down. It's going to be close where they spot it. But what an effort by Joe Flannery. And they do get the first down, I believe, at the 21-yard line, and they do. On 4th and 9, they set up a little screen. Madsen had to wait for it to develop. Flannery popped open from that far side, had to reach up and with the tops of his middle fingers catch the ball and then make a couple of guys miss to get the needed yardage. Picks up 10, moves the chains, 1st and 10 for the Little Cyclones. So 3 wide receivers, the running back, Madsen hands it off. Papin to this near side. Now will stop, try to go back up the middle. He's going to be tackled inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Papin continues to stack up some yards here on this last drive. Inside of 3 minutes to play here. This is certainly going to be the last time Ames is going to have a chance to have the ball and score. After the game's over, we'll give you what scores we do have from games around Central Iowa in Class 4A. But not a lot of surprises happening around the state, especially in the large classes. Here's Madsen, play action. He is sprinting. He is under pressure, trying to find somebody downfield, and then gets absolutely destroyed. Whoa. Huge hit at the end of that play by Logan Harris, who was tracking Madsen as he was trying to get to the outside. It was Jake Tassin, a defensive back on that far side, who was really stretching the play out. And as the play continued to stretch out like a rocket shot out of a cannon, huge hit on the far sideline. Now it's 3rd and about 11. Throw over the middle, just a little bit out of the reach on a diving attempt. Looking for Flannery again over the middle. And now, again, a 4th down. And with 1:25 left, if this is not converted, Southeast Polk really may only need to snap the ball one time, if that, depending on how much time is taken off the clock before the play clock is started. 4th and about 11. Madsen takes the snap. Throw back across. Phillips dropped it. Had some space in front of him, but could not reel it in. And Southeast Polk is going to come back onto the field. I believe they'll require one snap. Offense runs back onto the field. For the first time we see a new quarterback, Joe Zelinovich will take the snap. He'll hand it off. Abu Sama with it. And he'll be tackled in the backfield. And that should do it. Southeast Polk will shut out the Ames Little Cyclones in the second round of the playoffs. They will get themselves into the 3rd round. They'll know their opponent tomorrow. As Southeast Polk will run into the sideline toward their locker room. Not supposed to shake hands this year. The coaching staff will greet each other down the middle of the field. Kevin Ferguson and his Ames squad is going to try to get themselves back and ready to go for next year and get healthy. Taman Lipsy will be back next year as well. But Ames unable to score on the last drive. Southeast Polk finishes the shutout 48-0. The final score, Brad Zelinovich and his number 1 ranked Rams are going to move into the 3rd round. We'll take a quick break, come back with some highlights and final scores from around Class 4A and Central Iowa. Coming up next, Southeast Polk wins big right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
When we say Jeep, we mean lots of Jeeps. And when we say super, we mean super savings at the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee. During Jeep Adventure Days, new Wranglers $4,000 off, new Grand Cherokees over $9,000 off, or get 0% for 84 months on new Jeeps. New Gladiators up to $6,050 off.
First to build Iowa's only standalone Jeep showroom. Jeeps cost less in Waukee.
At the all-new Jeep Superstore, Deary Brothers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Waukee.
Final score 48-0. It all started with Titus Christensen with a big run to get things going 2.5 minutes into the first quarter. Christensen would score 3 touchdowns in the game rushing and certainly had a big night. That was the first of many big plays. This one also was a big play, a kickoff that hung up in the air right after the first touchdown, took a weird little bounce. Was a live ball. Southeast Polk jumped on it, was able to get themselves the football right back, and the very next play, Xavier Wampa was able to punch that in for a touchdown. On the recovery there was Quincy Foster, and that was a huge play in the early portion of the game. If you're looking at another play, at least as the second half began, Ames finally picked up a first down, and after the first down, muffed a little end-around reverse. Now, Ames would fall on this ball inside their own 10-yard line, but it halted the only positive momentum that they had throughout the game until the very last drive. Here is a play that also will go on the highlight reel as Trenton Smith looked to threw it over the middle in traffic, and a great leaping interception was made by Andrew Reed, who when he was on the field, he was everywhere, making tackles, knocking balls away, and then picking up that interception as well, helping Southeast Polk continue their dominance throughout the ball game tonight. Ames, as he rolled out, this was right at the end of the game, and just getting absolutely smashed. Great effort play by Logan Harris, was able to make the hit, and that helped stall out the final drive and keep the 0 on the scoreboard. Southeast Polk's defense pitches a shutout and wins 48-0 here in this one. We don't know who they'll play. We have to wait for all the results tonight. Tomorrow, early on during the day, you're going to see the third-round matchups be listed by the Iowa High School Athletic Association, but we do have some scores from around Central Iowa and in Class 4A that have become final along with this one. Let's just go ahead and run through them. Van Meter defeats Adair Casey, Guthrie Center. 36-0 was the final score there. That's a Class 1A game. Van Meter certainly title aspirations for this year. Ankeny Centennial at about halftime had a 20-0 lead over Sioux City East, looking strong there. Sioux City East 6-1, but did not play the kind of schedule Ankeny Centennial was forced to play here in Central Iowa. Harlan was leading Bondurant Farrar 16-0. That was still right around halftime. Haven't gotten an update on that game yet. Dallas Center Grimes really struggling against Carlisle. Carlisle 42-7 lead at the half in that game. Haven't got an update of that one since as well. Cedar Falls late in that game, a 35-0 lead over Cedar Rapids, Washington. Cedar Falls will be moving on into the third round of the playoffs. Ankeny well up on Council Bluffs, Thomas Jefferson. Last time we heard in the third quarter, they were up 56-0. They'll be moving on. Pleasant Valley had a 23-0 lead over Davenport Central. Cedar Rapids Prairie, a 13-0 lead over Davenport North. Those were second quarter scores as we had them earlier tonight. And late in the fourth quarter, Atlantic, a 14-0 lead over Des Moines Christian. That's a Class 2A game. Des Moines Christian going to need some points in a hurry to get themselves an opportunity to move on. Fort Dodge trailing Waterloo West in the third quarter, 17-10. Waterloo West currently with the lead. Johnston and Indianola battling, and Indianola looks like they're in control, 24-7. Johnston with a huge win over Dowling Catholic earlier this season, but just we're unable to put it together after that, and looks like they are up against it in the second half against Indianola for a trip to the next round. Iowa City High, Iowa City West playing each other in a matchup of Iowa City Schools West with a 4-touchdown lead at the half. Haven't gotten an update since. Iowa City Liberty fell at the hands of Dubuque Hempstead. 42-7 was a final score in that one. Continuing to look, Waukee, final score 34-3 over Linn-Mar. Really put it on them in the second half and pulled away to move into the third round of the playoffs. Urbandale, a 40-7 lead over Marshalltown. That was a third quarter score. A pretty close one still with Webster City and Mason City. Webster City 27, Mason City 23. Don't have a final on that one quite yet. Bettendorf a 21-0 lead over Muscatine. That one also in the fourth quarter. An Eastern Iowa Class 4A game. Eastern Iowa team's a little, we know Iowa City West is pretty talented. Not exactly sure though how they stack up with a lot of the good Central Iowa teams that we have seen this year. Ballard defeated Nevada 28-7, the final score there. That was a final. Norwalk trailing Lewis Central 21-0. That was a halftime score. Going to need to get a final for you on that one. PCM 55-0 over Saydell. That game is wrapping up. PCM will move on as well. Another really strong Class 2A program. Dowling Catholic really has exploded in the second half against Sioux City North. They lead at 65-3 now. Dowling Catholic starting to get it rolling. Can never count out the Maroons, 7-time defending state champions. And while everybody's talking about Southeast Polk and Ankeny, Dowling Catholic still going to be hanging around there, and that is for sure. Looking at West Des Moines Valley in the third quarter, they were leading Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln 17-0. The score there. They had to go on the road for that game, but certainly looking good to this point as well. And that'll do it, at least for the Central Iowa scores and Class 4A scores that we're able to pull up right now. As mentioned, go to Iowa High School Athletic Association's website, IHSAA.org. You'll be able tomorrow, when the pairings for the third round are released, and you'll be able to see what games are going to be happening in Central Iowa and around the state. For the entire crew here at Southeast Polk Stadium, including our director, Devin Taylor, I'm Emery Sunger. We thank you for joining us. Southeast Polk, number 1 in the state, picks up a 48-0 win over Ames to move into the third round of the playoffs, and you watched it right here on the Central Iowa.